Amongst mobile games, MMORPGs are just basically time-destroying machines. Mobile gaming is hitting a whole other level with them recently, and 2026 is in fact taking it even further. Hello friends, this is Mobile, and here are over 20 MMORPGs worth playing in 2026 on your Android and iOS. Alright, look, first of all, we're gonna be kicking off number 1 with something way more established, but still somehow keeps finding new ways to feel new. And I do apologize in advance, but Infinity Nikki is now sitting on its 2.5 update, and this is one of those games that quietly turn into a real open world experience over time. This new update basically wraps up the whole arc, but instead of just closing things out, it actually expands the game in a pretty meaningful way as well. What makes this update hit, in fact, is how it blends its systems together. There's new outfits, there's also more structure, so yeah. It's not because it's a brand new game, but because it's one of the few mobile games right now that actually feels like it knows exactly what it's doing. We're gonna be kicking off number 2 with NTE. And yeah, this one's got that rare thing where you can already tell it's aiming higher than most gacha. First thing you notice about it is just the city. The game world isn't just there to look pretty, it actually feels used. You're driving, walking, picking up random stuff to do, and somehow hours just go by without you touching the main story, just like a Grand Theft Auto. That life simulator, low-key, is just a real hook. The combat's familiar but solid, nothing crazy, but it does also get better with the boss fights. It's not a perfect game, there's bugs, pacing dips, all that's there, but overall, this feels like it might actually stick around for the long run. Ragnarok Region Classic came around not too long ago, and recently just went out multi-platform and global, so whether you're on PC or mobile, you're covered. You can go ahead and grab it straight from the Google Play Store and the Apple Store or the official PC client. Just keep in mind, this isn't just a nostalgia trip for once. Gravity, the team behind it, kept all the classic charm from the original Ragnarok Online, the world, the classes, the adventure, but they've also simplified growth mechanics so it's easier to jump in and actually have fun without feeling like you're just grinding forever. On top of that, they've got a monthly pass system and it's really delivering. I would say it's a must-play for old school fans and new players alike. We talked about RF Online a week ago, and this game just comes in like one of the 7 trumpets of apocalypse, with like a million players just waiting to try it out, and it's early. It's full-scale sci-fi with factions, mix, bosses just the size of buildings, and PvP that doesn't even try minimal stuff. It's just basically made to make you feel small, with everything around you just bigger. And that's kind of the point. You're not the hero in this game, you're part of a machine. You're gonna be switching roles, adapting mid-fight, trying to survive, and it's not even subtle. The game is overall built for players who want that Warframe MMO shooting, just with more metal. If you're rooting for the full experience, you should know the game's coming out fully on June 18. Going up to number 5, we have the one and only Monster Hunter Outlanders. Well, Outlanders is obviously not fully out yet, but the second closed beta is rolling out and it's just massive. We're talking full open world, semi-open world areas, real monster hunts, camp activity and setups, cooking, fishing. It's a whole Monster Hunter universe, and now scaled down for your phone. They're adding new hunters, new monsters, exclusive ones, and from what we've experienced so far, it's leaning pretty heavy into that co-op experience. It's still early, but if they land this thing right globally, this could easily be one of the biggest in mobile gaming front. Check it out, just in case you missed it.
I'll blow you away!
Coming in right after that with Mongol Stardive, and it's already pushing its first real updates, and this is usually where you see what a game's actually about post-launch. Mongol's an action RPG, AAA, and it's made with Unreal Engine 5. There's a full open world, a deep story behind every single character, and developers are basically adding much more. They just added the 5-star fire unit that's clearly just made to build damage first, ask questions later. But more importantly, there's an event tied to her with actual rewards really worth grabbing. Plus some small tweaks like filters and story skips. Nothing crazy, but it really shows the game's already tightened things up. Genesis War feels like one of those tactical games that's already got huge momentum behind it. It finally came out after a couple of weeks of alpha, betas, and now it's sitting on both the Google and the Apple Store. The game does not really introduce itself slowly, it just throws you on top of a rad roster of characters, tons of decent systems in this genre, and a successful turn-based RPG combat that just sits right at the center. But the real pull is the collecting and building units from a massive lineup. Pretty structured, very polished, very gacha inspired, but with that global launch confidence, where like everything's already tuned and ready to scale. Dragon Sword just came out away from Korea, and this is one of those games that makes you feel like a kid discovering role-playing games all over again. So you're pretty much a juvenile, thrust into a mercenary crew while these dragons are just waking up after 60 years of sleep. And it's a little different. The combat's all real-time with swaps, aerial combos, knockdowns, all that stylish anime nonsense, and the world's huge, full of hidden runes, lores, mercenary drama, you name it. The game's available in English, although you might need a Korean VPN. It's about 20 gigabytes of full-on action RPG insanity. If you like bonding, team, dragons, MMORPGs, and a little bit of fantasy, this one's definitely worth the space. The 7 Deadly Sins region dropped its official global a little while ago, and ever since, the anime world's never been the same in that regard. Well, first of all, the 7 Deadly Sins region is an open-world RPG that's almost like a cartoon show. Tons of places to climb, glide to, poke around for the secrets. The movement's sorta very Breath of the Wild style, with the climbing, swimming, gliding, and even riding flying mounts. On top of that, the combat's got a pretty flashy and simple tone to pace to it. The game is just overall very fun to explore. It's got tough enemies that feel a bit basic, combat's a bit tag-based, and co-op boss fights are built for multiplayer. It's a free game, of course, about 10 gigabytes in total. This has been in the hype phase for like the past 6 months, in case you missed it. Abyssal finally made it out in one piece, and it's rocking a 4-player real-time, not button mashing, but a action RPG. And if you're into flashy combat with just a little bit of emotional flavor on top, well, this one's, we think, worth it. But here's a bit of a twist. This game low-key cares about vibes. There's cinematic cutscenes, a lot of them, character themes, give an action RPG goodness a little sit together with friends depth. Not to mention at its basics, it's just actually a collectible RPG. It's available on both stores for free. It's around 7 gigabytes depending on your phone, and so far it's got just a ton of post-launch bonuses. Now, on another hand, Hellguard's out globally now, and if you were into just basic, simple, dark fantasy games, this one goes pretty hard. We're talking grim, medieval, demons splitting dimensions like Diablo, ancient seals breaking, and you just stepping up as a legit Hell Guardian as a character. There's no autoplay, no tap and watch nonsense. This is a skill-based combat with real builds, real talent trees, heroes that actually feel different. You've got co-op raids, PvE, dungeon crawls, arenas, PvP, full-scale battles, basically the whole package. The full version is available now on both stores for free. Give it a shot.
Set out on an adventure where every decision shapes your own path.
Now, with that being said, Eternal Tower Saga just hit a global market, and for those of you who missed it, it's basically the older game, the older MMORPG Fantatale. Now it's available globally under its official name. It's an anime MMORPG that's trying to sell sort of everything at the same time. Somehow, that's kind of the whole point with the game. There's tower crawling, boss fights, PvP, the environments, guild wars, housing systems, a bunch of minigames. It's like someone said, what if we just build a second life sim, but make it grindy and anime and a MMO? And there's no auto-playing or solo grind, more like an online world you want to live in between fights. Pretty cool game. CLM Cross is basically Seal Online, but it's back, cuter, and sounds just full of soul. So you pick a class, just explore a cartoon world where monsters actually make faces while you kill them, which is adorable and kind of ridiculous at the same time. You've got pets, mounts, combos, and even a couple systems for good measure. You can chat, explore, mess around with friends, grind a little bit, do a little bit of dungeon, a little bit of that. It's overall just a pretty light, kind of messy MMORPG that doesn't really take itself seriously, but it totally works on paper. If you're into old school grindy MMORPG, but want something on your phone instead, well, Rise Online World Mobile is basically built for you. So yeah, it's not the log in for like 10 minutes kind of game, it's a full open world MMO. Classes, skill builds, dungeon runs, rare loot drops, and that constant chase for gear, you got clan wars, 24/7 PvP zones, battle points, and competitive ranking, and a deep crafting system as well. So if you're the type of player who just enjoys long-term progression and competitive clan stuff, this one hits that lane pretty well. It's a free game, about 2 GB in total, been out on PCs for nearly 3 years so far. By the way, it's a Turkish game, but a damn fine made game as well. So Tree of Savior Mobile is pretty much a hardcore tactics MMO. We don't really get a lot of these tactical MMO games that go pretty simple and basic, although this one doesn't even babysit you. Pretty grindy, pretty big, and you're gonna be dying a lot in this game. The combat actually demands attention, but what makes it stand out is just the control freedom. You've got mouse, keyboard, or full gamepad support, and it works. Exploration is massive, it's got tons of maps that exist just to be discovered. I don't know, if you want challenge, depth, and real MMO grind strategy, this one's got it, and it's still a little bit clunky. Blue Protocol, on another hand, in case you're still wondering, finally went live worldwide. There is new rewards, new redeem codes of May, and a new update as well. If you missed the original hype cycle, this is a clean entry point, and just keep it in mind, if you've ever installed a MMO, an anime game, knowing full well that it might not respect your time, this is pretty much that moment again. Basically, your anime dream come to life, like if someone stuffed your favorite JRPG, an MMO, and a fashion sim game into a giant world. It's got guilds, housing, events. It's an MMO playground, of course, where being your anime self really feels addictive. Sitting at number 17, we've got the game Vampire: Heir of Blood, which is pretty much like Lineage 2 walked into a gothic party and it's got bitten by a vampire. For those of you who missed it, the English version is finally out. Unfortunately, regardless of your region, you might need a VPN. It's an MMORPG, in case you're wondering. It's got a lot of action RPG pace to it. The world itself is just soaked in horror taboos, at the same time some great visuals, and some little bits of strategy as well, like economy matters, farming, and PvP. Check it out in case you missed it. The game is free. It's about 8 GB in total. We want to give a quick mention to Arknight's Endfield as well. For those of you who missed it, it's the kind of game you bounce off twice before it really clicks. And once it does click, you're pretty deep to think twice about it. It's a third-person action RPG. It's wrapped around automation and base building. The exploration's genuinely super strong in the game. Combat's addictive. It's got great level design and rewards for basically moving, walking, and just poking around. It's anime, gets you busy. It's a free-to-play game, surprisingly polished if you're sort of patient with gacha. It's a free game, just over 22 GB in total. We're gonna be counting number 19 with Architect: Land of Exiles. This is another Korean work that's sort of slowly sneaking up in the mobile gaming landscape, and no one's even talking about it. It's got Unreal Engine 5, it's got cross-platform support, it's a high fantasy action game with 5 classes, PvP, PvE, RVR. It's basically a buffet for MMO fans who are just tired of the same old recycled anime garbage. The Korean version's been out for months, but it's landing globally soon, and it's just got enough world building to make you actually care about the NPCs for once. And devs just recently said they're pretty serious about anti-botting and the player feedback. That's a win-win.
Your heart is what really takes you to the truth.
And last but not least, of course, we've got the one and only Honor of Kings World. That's easily one of the biggest mobile RPGs right now, and I mean that in a literal way. This thing is just massive in scale. The size, the ambition, the graphics, it just dropped in China and early impressions are even better than folks expected compared to its trailers. It's not just butt mashing, it is not a full MMO in that classic sense either, it's more like Genshin Impact meets MMO. It's got shared worlds, co-op, everything. Anyway, the full version is still on the wraps, but once it's out, this could be a defining moment for all MMORPGs available on mobile. Thanks for watching, let me know which one's your favorites, and I'll see you again soon. Ciao.